This will be my first installment of my public land portion of content, and we're about a quarter of the way in right now, and I'm already drenched in sweat. It is like 150% humidity out here today. We're headed into a spot that's a couple miles from the parking area that I've been familiar with for the last few years, where there's one buck I'm after, call him Shed 10. He's a phenomenal deer. He's probably 7 years old this year, and I'm pretty sure nobody's killed him because he's pretty much unkillable. But here we are doing it anyway. I'm gonna go hang cell camera today, do some mock scrapes, get things set for fall, so I don't have to come back in here until it's nice and cool and the leaves are changing. So just got to my first camera. It's been a monster of a walk to get in here. And I actually was kind of thinking it might be gone, but luckily it's here. Got about 9 gigs of photos on here from last year. I didn't get in here to hunt last year, so who knows what could be on this card. But the main reason why I'm excited beyond the camera is that right there, which is a loaded apple tree. One of the things that I focus on out here in these strip mine areas is food, and this time of year using apple trees just like you'd use a corn pile or a mineral site is an awesome way to run a camera and see what bucks are in the area, because generally they hit pretty much all these apple trees, but it's a great hub of activity for all the deer. And they actually carry over into October as well. I've noticed it'll still hold apples into bow season. So this is really what I'm here for. Every other apple tree we walked by has had nothing. This one's loaded. This is where the deer are going to be out here. So I'm excited to go through this card and see what we got. Late October cruising, he's nice. Big, nice 9-point. That's at least a 10. Yeah. Another one. So look at this, and so this again, this is important for right now too, because every deer picture all through last September and into early October was all does. Now that we're getting into last week of October, I'm getting daylight pictures every day of bucks cruising right through this trail past the apple tree. I mean, that's as good as it gets as far as intel for when to be in here. Oh, dude.
Is that him?
It might be. Yeah, it is. The short G2. So the deer I'm in here after, I call him Shed 10. I found one of his sides in 2019, and that's what started me in this area. I wouldn't even be hunting in here, honestly, if it weren't for that deer and that shed. But he's got to be 7 years old or maybe older this year. I just saw the first picture of him from last fall. He's got a very distinct half of a G2. Every year it's half a G2. Just a big framey 10-pointer, just a pig of a deer, and we finally got, now we're almost into November here, but that's him without a doubt. So the terrain here, the reason we hurt ourselves to come in the way we did is because we're using the wind to our advantage. He stays generally, and I know this deer better than I know a lot of people, but he stays in this bottom, and I've had pictures of him every time of the year, you name it. It was late season, early season, summer, in this bottom. And what we're doing right now is we're hunting the edge of his area right here. So I know in the fall he's probably going to cruise this for does, but his safe place is down in this bottom. He's got wind advantage. He's got so much thick cover down in there, you can't get in there without spooking him. So coming up on his edge here, using the terrain, I mean, they talk about the top third or top quarter of a ridge. This is it right here, and there's a lot of little funnels in here as well. So that, and combined with, we got a lot of activity, just general deer activity on an apple tree. I mean, I feel like I could hunt this spot and probably be pretty successful. So, and the camera just showed that he does cruise through here in October. So pretty much got rained out today, but we learned quite a bit once we got back in there. And just to kind of close this out, I wanted to address like why I'm working so hard to get into there and chase this one deer, but he lives in the prime spot for a buck to live. I mean, it is a disaster, but we're trying to use what the land is giving us to our advantage. Number one, terrain. 2, food sources, being the apple tree. 3, seclusion. I don't think he's getting pressured very hard back in there. So all those kind of come together to make this one spot worth all the work. At least we know we're in the game on him. I feel like we could kill him in there. He might have to make a mistake, but I think we know where we can kill them, and I'm going to use the historical data that I just gathered from that card I pulled way back in there. It's been running since last July. I'll use historical data to maybe figure out when I need to go kill them, because this is not just a hike you want to make every day. But I think all that together, when we know the spot we want, we'll figure out what the dates are that we want to get in there and chase him, and hopefully we'll see you back in there this fall.